Hello and welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast, and this is your favorite Mitra here to speak the unspeakable. We Indians have a common joke we share, don't we? We cannot talk about sex. Yet, we belong to the most populated country in the world. How ironical is that? Now, when I think of it, it's more like, don't you dare talk about it. But you can do it all the time. Behind the doors, of course. People have sex, and that's how babies happen. You, me, and every other person on this planet was a result of unprotected sex. Okay, now that sounds weird, but it's kind of true. But yeah, I cannot really be certain if we were all expected though. And as the story goes, we weren't really God's gifts that miraculously happened to end up in our mom's tummies. Yeah, your mom and dad might have had a different version, but this was mine. And the truth is, we were all just regular results of sex. And I hope it was good. In short, our parents had some intimate action, just like how we have it with our partners, and they got too invested in the relationship, either for themselves or because of you. We are here. Jokes apart, how does it feel thinking about your parents having sex while you are in the next room? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? I don't know about you guys, but that used to make me cringe and want to puke. Yeah, I might sound like an idiot here, but when I was a kid, I remember walking in on something I shouldn't have, and I felt really uncomfortable. I had no clue what was going on, and I remember being embarrassed about something I don't really know about. How weird is that? Besides sex, there were other similar embarrassing moments too, like ending up in the washroom while my dad was taking a shower, and that left me mortified. Oh, it still makes me feel weird. Well, I have come a long way since then, and I know now that there was nothing wrong in those situations, except for the fact that I wasn't aware of physical bodies, intimacy, or even sex. And my parents clearly didn't think it was important to explain or even address these incidents during our conversations. I'm sure most of us have had similar experiences. Honestly, it took a lot of practice for me to even be comfortable saying the word sex in public. I felt like I was spitting out poison, and disgust was obvious. Sex is just a natural process that is common for all life on earth. While most animals mate to reproduce, we humans don't do that just to make babies. For us, it's more about pleasure and how it makes us feel connected to another human being. And of course, babies, they do come later. However, as natural as it is also very rare for humans to be naturally experts at it. Good sex requires knowing our partner's bodies and prioritizing communication and consent. But when we aren't experts, how do we make it a better experience? How do we know that what to do and what not to do when we don't know the basics of sex? Or when we are always judged for asking questions? There was a news recently, though I'm not getting into the details. It was something that happened a few months back, I guess. A teenage girl got her periods for the first time, and her brother thought it was due to first time sex and killed her in the name of family honor. As horrific as it seems, this is the state of our country, and we have already lost many lives because of our ignorance and lack of empathy. This particular incident may have happened due to a lot of reasons, and there's none to justify the action. But have you wondered, what is the major cause? Well, I did, and it is pretty obvious too. Incidents like these happen around us because sex education doesn't exist for us. We shy away from talking about things that matter the most, and this ends up in a disaster. However, these days, educating children on good touch and bad touch has become quite popular. We put this effort so that children can differentiate people from abusers. But it seems like that's what our sex education extends to these days. What about the young teenagers and adults who really have no clue about their bodies? What about those who think masturbation is a crime because their religion says so? Or what about knowing how to treat our partners right in bed? Who will teach us all that? Where will we study about the different phases of sex? How will we explore our sexuality? Currently, we don't have many mediums to do that. And even when we ask questions, chances are high that you are not going to receive a satisfactory answer. And what do we do next? Most often, we end up in Pornhub or X Hamster to satiate our curiosity. And of course, we do get answers. At least we think so. And that's why majority of us still feel insecure about ourselves. Porn on the internet has a wide variety of choices, and the way they portray sex seems easy until you actually get to try it. I mean, who can go on and on continuously without a break? How can everyone be so physically fit, and how do they switch positions with so much of ease? I don't think normal human beings can. But if you're a trained professional, then that's your job. Most people don't realize this simple logic and place their expectations about sex on fictional content that has nothing to do with actual sex. And this could be one reason why we may be disappointed with our lives. Can there be a solution to all of this? A one way out? Think of the scenario when we were children. What if, during our puberty, our parents sat with us and explained the changes in our body? Or we had a subject in school that helped us understand our physical changes and needs during each new phase of our lives. Wouldn't that have changed our perspectives about the world and the humans around us? Wouldn't that have helped us in becoming better humans? If you ask me, I would definitely say yes. It will not only have helped me with understanding myself, but would have also equipped me to deal with the world outside my home. We could also have avoided a lot of childhood abuses and trauma if we had the right people to guide us into adulthood. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to some of these, and there are just very few reasons why we desperately need a system in place. And that is exactly why we need sex education in our country. So, let this be your thought of the day, and I'm sure you'll have your own queries too. And if you do, don't hesitate to reach out to me because I'm here to discuss your concerns. So mail me your questions on askmeanything@gmail.com and I'll be glad to answer yours in my next episode. Until then, bye, and I hope you all have a very beautiful day.